JBSports. I'm your host, Sean Laverne, and today is Wednesday, so you know it's all about the Wrestling Wednesdays. And yes, back on video. It's been a little while, but we're back. And we have a kind of a really big Raw to go off of. So, one, I'm going to go into Raw. Then I'll go into some of like the newer WrestleMania matches that have been added, and then just talk about some other things I might want to. But we got a pretty tight thing to go from. So first, Rhea, Bianca, and Io Sky kick off Raw. Great segment. I thought it was a really good one. I think it was fun. But I think it pretty good segment. I think it was fun. It was just a contract signing, and someone was getting the beats by the end of it because their feud, it doesn't ever end with someone not getting punched. It's just what happened. So good feud so far. A few people don't like it. I'm okay with it. I really hope Io retains at WrestleMania. I think that's the biggest part for me, that Io retains. But Io, again, getting disrespected. She just did a springboard moonsault, and that thing was nasty. Like, yeah, it looked like she actually kicked him. And then there's a photo of her in the air, and Adam Pearce is just like, he's over it. He's ready for this to be over, and I don't blame him because, good Lord, they caused a lot of problems. But yeah, overall good segment. I think they need to stop disrespecting Io, but she can stop that by winning at WrestleMania. So hopefully she does. Next, we have Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Lyra, whatever you want to say. Not a bad match. Happy Lyra retained. I think she's a really good wrestler. I think she's perfect for this mid card role now, and she will be a future champ. She just has to get a little more credibility to her name, and she'll be fine. But she's really good. Not a bad match. I'm not the biggest fan of Bayley. I think I said it before. I'd be like, it's not that she's a bad wrestler or she's bad. Like it's just she's getting more boring for me. I think it's just over and over and over again the same stuff. But hey, it's all good. Next one, LWO versus American Made in El Grande Americano. You know what? Great match. Love this match. Love that El Grande Americano is getting his time. I wish Chad Gable could get more time in the ring, because we're gonna have to go through WrestleMania where Chad Gable is not on the card. Isn't that sad? I mean, of course, it's gonna be great to see El Grande Americano. It'll be great, but no Chad Gable is gonna suck because he makes some really good WrestleMania moments. But Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano will be pretty good. So hopefully I have that. But this match wasn't bad. I think that it was okay. I'm happy that the El Grande Americano and the Creed brothers could pick up the win because you gotta make Chad Gable proud that we're in his hometown. So next one, Jey Uso confronts Gunther. I really liked that promo. I know a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people were hating on it. I'm okay with it. I thought it's good. I was really hoping that Jay would just crash out at the end. I think that would have been big, but it is what it is. You can't have them all. So really happy with how they're going with this feud. I think that WrestleMania match is going to be better than people think. I was hoping that it would be main event because it's main event Jey Uso, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited for the WrestleMania match, and I think Jimmy just saved Jimmy. Jimmy being inserted into it really saved the feud. I think. Next one, World Tag Team Championships: the War Raiders versus the New Day. New Day win. They don't win the championships, but they win by a DQ because was it? I don't remember if it was Eric or Ivar, but they got a chair and just whacked him in the back with it. Not bad. I mean, it wasn't an eventful match. Usually, like those matches, like they're good until that point. It wasn't crazy and it wasn't bad. So, and that comedian, what is his name? Tony something. Ooh, rough. Penta versus Dom. Penta versus Dom was actually very good. It was, to me, it was very good. And you had some moments where Dom was wrestling really, really good. And it's just really cool to see the way that Dom has gotten better and better over time, and he's really become a strong wrestler that he wasn't at first. He really wasn't. I remember when he first came out, like it was cool as Ray Sun, but other than that, what was he? He couldn't really. He wasn't really wrestling the best. I mean, he wasn't wrestling bad. He wrestled than I could, but he just wasn't there yet. Now it's really cool to see Dom like actually doing really good. Then the biggest part of the night, Paul Heyman comes out. He says, "Hey, I can be loyal to CM Punk and I can be loyal to Roman Reigns." And he goes on, and then Seth Rollins' music hits, and you could just tell Seth was going to be up to something devious, very devious, because he just the way he was walking out, the way he started looking at Paul. Basically, Seth just like, "Hey, listen, Roman doesn't care about you. He's using you. You're nothing to him. You're just a guy that books his hotel, books his plane rides. You're the one who just gets him stuff." And Paul was listening. He's like trying to listen to his points, but he really wasn't, which is understandable. I mean, he's telling you that your main guy doesn't care about you, and then he says CM Punk doesn't care, and how CM Punk the only he said he was only not here to make friends. He was just here to make money. And throughout the whole thing, Seth is actually making some good points. I don't care what anyone says. Seth is actually making some valid points, and it's just he's just saying some devious things. He's like they don't care about you. He's going in. He's like this is how much he starts smacking Paul Heyman with his own tie, and it's just crazy how he's just doing Paul dirty. He's like, oh, and then when he was talking about Roman, he's like, when after WrestleMania when he lost because because Seth was the reason, and Cody, but Seth was the main reason because the Shield thing. But he said when Roman left, did he take you with him? Did he bring you to his spot? Did he bring you? Did he save you? No. He left you as solo. He left you with his rest of his family. How they treat you? They treat you terribly. So he's talking about how Roman hasn't treated him well, hasn't done stuff for him. And then he says when CM Punk left, he didn't just leave the WWE universe. He didn't just leave me. He didn't leave the rest of us. He left you too. So yeah, like I said, making amazing points and just hammering it onto Heyman. And then he starts like smacking with a tie, and then he starts getting physical. And like Paul was like, "Don't touch me," and then he brings him in the corner, and Seth is he was just being devious, man. He was talking about stomping. He was talking about that he was going to take Paul out for his own good. Like he's going to put him on the shelf, but it's for your own good, Paul. And that's when he started like really grabbing him. And then he brought him to the corner, and CM Punk's music hits. He comes out. They start getting to the beats. They're going back and forth. Punk has the upper hand, but he wants to go for a stomp on the stairs. So Seth goes out of the spot, goes back in the ring, and then when Punk comes in, he stomps on him. And then Paul Heyman, like worried about his best friend, he's like, "Are you gonna be with your best friend?" All that stuff. He goes down, he's checking on Punk, and then Seth stomps just right in front of him, and he says, "I could have just done that. I could have done it. Now you owe me a favor." And now I'm just thinking, how many favors does this man owe now? A lot of people online were saying that they owe him a favor. Might as well owe me a favor. But Seth in this segment was just amazing. Like he is just so good on the mic. He's one of the best of all time, in my opinion. Seth has been on such a good run, and I've been a Seth fan for a while now. So you could be like, oh, just because you're a Seth fan, but honestly, Seth is so good. He's good at basically any promo he's done. He's amazing in ring. His psychology is amazing. The storytelling, it's just amazing. And so there. It's the promo. It was just perfect. He was calm, a little psychotic, which was a little scary. Saying he's gonna take Paul out for his own good, but everything was just a great segment. Punk coming out, showing that he cared, and then getting stomped, and then Seth almost stomping. But yeah, that the favors are getting out of control, Paul. You're promising people way too much stuff. They're using you, Paul. All of them. They're using you for your favors. They're using you for your power. All that power you said you had because you've been here for a lot of years and you've done all this stuff. Yeah, you're being used for your power, Paul. I think you understand that. But it was a great segment overall. Love what WWE's doing with that, and really, really excited to know what Seth wants from Paul. What his favorite Seth will be. Hopefully, it's something like a title. Just because I'm a Seth fan, I would love to see him with it. He probably won't, but it would be great. But yeah, it's a great segment, and just going into WrestleMania just adds another layer because now people are starting to think, oh, like he has allegiance to Punk. Does he have allegiance to Roman? Or will he walk out with Seth Rollins? And I think there was a store I saw where The Rock trademarked for like a corporate like theme for a faction name, and hey, Rock, Cena, Seth, and Paul. That seems like a corporate group to me. And you could definitely see that mostly because you saw how mad Seth was when Cody teamed with Roman, and that could be his little get back, his turn, my turn for what I want, and it's so many possibilities, so many possibilities. Do I want him to walk out with Paul Heyman? Yes. Do I think maybe it's looking that way, and it would be really cool if it was that, but we just gotta wait for it because it could be going anywhere at this point. But there's a lot of good matches. Oh, also, um, backtracking back to the Dom and Penta match at the end when frickin' Braun came out and delivered one of the nastiest spears I've ever seen in my life. It was absolutely insane. Dude jumps, spears him, and still rolls. He still rolls after it. Like I've never seen a spear like that in my lifetime. I it's probably one of the best he's ever had. It's second for me. I have a really I really love his spear against Carmelo, where Carmelo does a springboard off the ropes and he just gets boom nailed in the air. I don't I definitely think that's still my number one. It's hard to not say that one's the number one just because like I saw it, I was like, it was just so good. It was such a good spear in the moment, like you couldn't stop thinking about it. And then there's the number two is definitely the recent one with Carlito. That one was insane. And what would my number three spear be? My number three would be the speed one at Royal Rumble. So my tier list for Braun Breaker spears so far in his career. Number one, the one against Carmelo where he springboards off the rope and just gets absolutely annihilated in the air. Number two would be the Carlito one. That one was just insane. And then my third one would be the speed one at Royal Rumble, just because it was just like such a stiff spear, and the way Speed took it, it was just insane. Braun was going probably like one of the fastest I've ever seen him go, and then he just boom, just direct impact, speared Speed in half. So those are definitely my top three. But Braun's got so many good ones. But overall, yeah, that's my top three. It would be the Carmelo, then Carlito, then the Speed one. But just he's been a great wrestler. He definitely needs to win King of the Ring. Me and my friend Caleb were talking about it, and he has to win King of the Ring. It's just he has to. He is so good. He is such at the championship level. Like there's some wrestlers where like they can be champion in the future, but they need to get to that level. Braun is just already at that level. He's just everything is going well for him. He's pretty good in the promo. He's got the dog barking thing. Like he's got his like catchphrase kind of thing, and he's just the future. He's so good. But going into some WrestleMania matches that are newer. Oh, actually, before we get into that, Charlotte and Tiffy, holy lord, are they going at each other's throats? I don't know if that was off script or whatever happened, but it was diabolical. Tiffy says 0 and 3. Oh my 0 and 3, just like your marriages. Like she said, you're gonna be lonely here, just like you're lonely in real life because you're 0 and 3 in marriages. That was insane. Like I was not expecting Tiffy to go there. And then after Charlotte says, well, Ludwig's in my DMs, which the whole meme came out that's like Ludwig Kaiser is the only man that we will actually think that he did not go in their DMs. Charlotte's getting violated here, and I feel bad, but it was insane. Oh gosh, bad. It's just awful. It was funny, but I was texting my friend Kim, I'm like, dude, do you hear this? Like they're going at each other. What is going on? But I don't. I think that's probably off script because I don't really see them usually saying that. But there's been some rough ones in the past. What was it? Was it Sasha saying something about a brother, or I don't remember who it was, but it was insane. Like Charlotte's gotten. Oh no, it was Paige. Paige said something about a brother not being there. Like Charlotte's gotten some bad roasts in the feud past, like future past, whatever. She got the brother one. She got this one with the marriages. Like I saw a stat and it was Roman Reigns' title reign. The most recent one lasted longer than all three of Charlotte's marriages. I just, oh gosh, I feel bad. We'll move on from that to spare Charlotte some roasts. But going into some of the WrestleMania matches that have popped up, El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. Again, sad we won't be able to see Chad Gable perform, but I think it'll be a great match, a very, very good luchador mask, and really show how it's just such a good part of the sport and how it's evolved, especially with the new luchador El Grande Americano. He's just so good. And of course, people are saying he's Chad Gable. He's not. You could literally see the guy walking in the background when Chad Gable did an interview. So it proves you wrong, guys. Just saying. Then you have the Finn Balor, Dom, Penta, and then Braun Breaker match. That's going to be insane. That will be such an amazing match. I don't think people are ready to know how good that match is going to be. I really think it's going to be insane. I do think that Dom will win. I want Dom to win actually. Penta, okay. If I want anyone to win, it's Penta or Finn, but I don't think either will happen. The biggest thing is that you don't make Braun look weak. You want him to lose because like a bunch of finishes went on him and someone else gets pinned. I think maybe Dom wins off a sneaky win. I want Penta to win, but I think Penta needs more of. I think he needs to lose first and then have a story beating everyone and then going back for it. I think that's what Penta needs. Am I going to be mad if Penta wins? No, I'll be ecstatic. But I also like it if Dom won. Or honestly, I'm okay with any of them winning. Any of them are good champions, and I will be happy with any of them being champions. But I would really love for Penta or Finn to win. But it's probably going to be Dom, which I'm totally fine with. Finn, it's just been a rough patch. That man just cannot get a title to save his life. It's sad. I miss NXT Finn Balor, the second go around, the first go around, but like the second go around when he had the feud with Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano, like so good, so good. But we'll see what happens from there. Another Mania match: Randy Orton versus somebody because KO's injured, so hopefully he recovers. But him versus I've been seeing a lot of Karrion Kross. I think that would be a really fun match. I think it would be big for Karrion and for Karrion to finally get in the ring. Oh my gosh, that man has been non-existent in the ring for so long. Get the man in the ring, please, Triple H. Please. Because he would be a great mid-card title holder right now and then eventually champion. I'm a big Karrion Kross fan. I've talked about him a lot. I miss his NXT days, but I also would love for him to kind of have that timing, that impact here. I don't know if it will happen, but hopefully it does. It would be awesome, awesome, awesome. Rey Fenix debuting, that was cool. But yeah, WrestleMania matches. There's been some really good ones popping up. Jacob versus LA Knight at WrestleMania. That's going to be fun. Honestly, I could see Jacob picking up the win and being the U.S. champion. I would be totally fine with that. Jacob is so good. Jacob has shown how good he's been and how good he can be through this entire year. Each time it's just like he's doing better and better, and he has a better moment and a better moment. And now he's like, you know what, Solo? I'm gonna do this for me. I'm not doing it for you anymore. It's me. It's all me. It's just me, Oos. But it's gonna be a great match. I really do think so. And off of that, WrestleMania is gonna be great. I will be doing a predictions video with one of my friends from college, so be ready for that. I think it'll be great, and just other things from it. I'm really excited for the Raw after Mania. I think that's going to be big because depending on how WrestleMania goes, you can see the corporate and you can see Rock, Cena, Seth, and Paul Heyman all join together if that happens. It's just people don't understand. Like they're mad at like Gunther versus Jay or some of these other matches. Like, get over it. They're gonna be good matches. People are just so picky, and Jimmy has really saved that feud. It's not that it was bad; it was getting a little like weird, but Jimmy really saved it. I was always excited for the match. I was one of those people, but people are just so over like ugh, dramatic over it. It's just like just enjoy the product. It's gonna be good product no matter what. But whatever. Oh, and I saw this one saying that I don't even know if I want to get into this. There was a video I saw where this guy said Gunther was the most overrated wrestler ever, and he's just a mid card jobber type of guy. And I'm not going to get much into it. My friend and I were fuming. He was going back and forth with the guy in this comment section. That was funny to see because I kept going back to see what he was saying. But he one of his things he said was that since Gunther doesn't sell merch, he's not a top guy. And while merch is a big thing to sell, I don't feel like you need to be I don't think you're not a top guy if you don't sell merch. Like there's a lot of people where you didn't see a lot of merchandise from them. It's just a thing that happened. So some of these qualifications these people be making aren't like it's just stupid. I don't understand how just because someone's not selling as much merch that they're not a big guy. Like he's like, how much Gunther merch do you see? Well, how many times do you see people getting cheers and a majority of people have their shirts on for that person? It's just pause. The way I said that was weird, but it's weird, and I think that sometimes, like, yeah, this world title reign hasn't been what it probably should have been, but it's been okay, and it's not like it's the worst of all time. And people saying Gunther's a jobber, do you not remember last year when he was Intercontinental Champion and literally made that belt feel like it was just as important or more important than the other championships at some points? Like, it it was just crazy to me. It was wild. I don't really understand how some people can even fathom see him as a jobber type guy and say that that's all is. It's whatever. I gotta stop giving it time because that's just what the people want and that's how it goes. But it had me and my friend fuming. That's all I'll say. If you watch this, Caleb, I got you. But he's been on the channel once or twice. He was on the award show, so. But yeah, it was crazy. But people need to calm down. It really is wild. But other than that, we talked about Raw, we talked about WrestleMania, we talked about some of the matches, we talked about Tiffy and Charlotte going at each other's throats and saying some wild things, really wild things, and just talk about how someone thinks Gunther's the most overrated wrestler of all time and is just a jobber. But that people are entitled to their opinions. They just might not be right, as I say, but it was stupid. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe, and I'll see you on Friday for the next episode, which I'll probably go into the NBA playoffs and probably do predictions on that because it's getting close enough, and talk about the Nuggets being stupid and how I don't even know how to talk about that one. I'm still fathoming why they fired their head coach and GM. But that'll be Friday's topics. I will see you then. Have a great night and great rest of the week, and bye.